You're watching Endurance Traveler as we skate our way from Athens, Georgia to Atlanta in the annual A2A. The lead pack of skaters is averaging over 18 miles per hour and includes both Eddie and Jessica. They're skating in a pace line just like a cyclist sitting behind someone else. It's called drafting, and a skater can save up to 30% of their energy. Everyone takes a turn pulling at the front.
Okay, that was my 15 seconds. Okay, just getting warmed up. Hoping I get a good back today. You know, if the back is good, the legs are always good too. We've got a monster pulling on the front. That boy, watch out for that boy. He's beaten me the last 2 years. Yeah, not this year though, right?
Eddie's battle with Luis Carlos Mejia is just getting started.
Luis Carlos, he is one of the truest beasts of the sport.
Every time the road tilts up, Luis is pushing the pace to see if he can create a smaller breakaway group without Eddie.
When you're going downhill, this is the important part. You want to have two hands on the person in front of you. That way you're not pushing that person in one direction or another. Because when you're going that fast, you only want to be going in a straight line, unless we're turning at the bottom of the hill, which we do actually. We'll be turning, making a nice quick left turn down at the bottom of the hill, so watch out for that.
Poquito loco. You gotta be poquito loco.
Meanwhile, I'm working so hard to catch a group when my lack of ability brought them to me.
It's nice to be in a pace line.
We're only going 38.
So you mean I'm on my own soon?
One of the lessons I learned while training for this was smoother roads make a world of difference. Roads I used to think were smooth on bicycle wheels feel like a jackhammer on skates.
I'm such a dummy!
I don't know about you, but mixing beer, dancing, and live music is a recipe for a well-deserved hangover. One Terrapin Brewery is always ready to serve from the tap.
This is a 25-barrel brew house. A barrel is equivalent to 2 large-sized kegs, the kegs that you guys have seen at keg parties, I'm sure.
Obviously, this was a basement brewer's dream turned reality. Brian Spike Bukowski is the one that had that dream.
Back in '93, I started home brewing, and then I went out to professional brewing school out in Woodland, California back in '96. So it's been a little while.
So Spike found a way to stay in college forever and turn the brewery's backyard into his own private kegger, 3 days a week.
Excellent. So good. I recommend the Golden Ale. It's my favorite.
The brown is so good. It's so good.
You've created something really special here.
Yeah, it's just a great vibe, great atmosphere. I mean, we've got live music on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, and you know, we've averaged about 300 to 500 people a night, and just a great crowd. I mean, especially in this weather, so.
When we come back, Jessica shows us some battle wounds, and I'll have some good old-fashioned soul food.
This food is for everybody, young and old.
Want more Endurance Traveler? Go to endurancetraveler.tv.
Uh-oh, big hill coming up.
This is Endurance Traveler. We're back in the U.S. this week, inline skating in Georgia. As the speed picks up, I'm starting to get tense. But the tenser I get, the shakier the ride becomes.
I don't like not knowing what's coming.
I guess this is learning to downhill on the road.
Little hop, skip, and a jump.
I'm finding that the calmer I stay, the faster I can go without worrying about a wreck.
If you're not afraid of the downhills, I think it makes a huge difference.
My efforts to go a little faster in the downhills are starting to pay off. And as I reach the 20-mile checkpoint, I've latched on to a new group that seems to be within my abilities.
This is Paul. He came from England just to do this. You get to see any sights while you're here?
My hotel room is nice.
Got a good group I'm with. The guy from Austria in this group came over to do the race. This guy's from Japan. Nihongo ga wakarimasu ka?
With every push of the skate, I'm feeling my confidence grow.
Passing! That was spooky. Who knows, by the end of the 87 miles, I might be pretty good at going downhill. I would knock on some wood right now. All right, making good time. For now. Woo.
Slow and steady. I'm watching my heart rate. Make sure it doesn't get too high.
Even the best skaters have to be prepared for a fall, because it's simply the nature of sport. Everyone goes down at some point.
And we always point out obstacles or things in the road. We don't want anybody to get hurt. That's the main thing. I've had a lot of accidents skating. Road rash, we all have it. I love my scars actually because it's kind of like having a tattoo without having to pay for it. And each one of them tells a story. This one was my first one, and this one was actually a pretty big hole in my elbow. That was from Palm Beach. People are impressed with how I got my scars.
Organized events like this are always well supported, with aid stations supplying food and water.
Refreshing.
But it's important to understand water and bananas alone will not do.
When we're out on the road like this, there's always a danger of overheating.
It's necessary to also carry electrolyte supplements.
Potassium and what's that salt stuff? Sodium.
Along with magnesium and water, these are the building blocks of an electrolyte to replenish your cells. Francisco Ramirez is Eddie's other main competition.
Two up front are double timing Eddie, so it's difficult for him to do anything.
I hate when people kick me. You always kick me.
Anytime that Eddie goes to the front, Francisco and Luis will be on his wheel. They won't let him go anywhere.
You follow me like glue. Kick me. I hate that.
During a race, it's common for competitors to create a temporary alliance to defeat a common foe if he's stronger.
Say hi to Jessica.
In this case, Eddie's strength is in his ability to break away from the group and stay away to the finish. By working together, Luis and Francisco can take turns weakening Eddie.
Wow, there's a lot of testosterone up there.
Sounds like everyone up in Eddie's group is getting a little testy. Maybe they all just need some good old-fashioned soul food. You can't come to the South without getting some down-home cooking. So we've come to Weaver D's to eat some real soul food. So come on in. Weaver D's is a staple of Athens eating.
How you doing?
The D stands for Dexter, the master behind this delectable soul food establishment.
2 steak and gravy so far.
Everyone from kids to corporate execs can be sitting at the cloth picnic tables at lunchtime.
This food is for everybody, young and old.
And there's no need to peruse the menu. Just ask Dexter.
I have butter peas, cabbage, macaroni, green beans, sweet potato squash, broccoli casserole, butter potatoes, green beans, macaroni and cheese, potato salad.
Soul food's roots go all the way back to Africa when vegetables like okra were brought over by African slaves. Once here, the Africans incorporated foods like cornbread from the Native Americans as the style evolved into what we now know today.
I'm eating cabbages, and I also have squash casserole, and I have oxtails. We sell oxtails. Everybody wonder what this is. This is a cow's tail.
I didn't get any on my plate.
I didn't know whether you liked oxtails or not.
Weaver D's is legendary in Athens, both for the food and his slogan borrowed by the famous rock group R.E.M.
And they chose my slogan, Automatic for the People. It's their 92 album, and they were nominated up for 4 Grammys from that album.
Where does that slogan come from? Because I keep hearing you say it.
All came when I used to work in fast food, and the manager over me informed us that if our employees didn't report for duty, then the managers will work a double shift automatic. So I just combined automatic for the people, meaning ready, quick, and efficient, and it went on from there. Bye.
When we return, the race at the front really heats up. Chef Kevin Gillespie teaches us about slow food at Woodfire Grill. I'll go a little batty, and we'll swim with the world's largest sharks. Welcome back to Endurance Traveler. We've already established that being in a pace line saves energy, but like everything else, there's a positive and a negative to this.
I'm taking a little bit of a gamble with my effort by going my pace. We'll see if there's another group for me to catch up here that's more my speed. Because these guys, they have a better skill set, but their physical attributes aren't as good. So, kind of balances it itself out. We'll see what balance I'm at.
The biggest risk is the additional effort I have to exert to bridge the gap to the next group that could be going too fast anyway.
Just keep skating here and get a little draft from this car. Can't really complain about that. Oh, and there he goes.
This is where I wish I was like 10 pounds lighter.
This is the sharp end of the race. The lead group is averaging 18 miles an hour compared to my 11. Even the police escorts are having a hard time keeping up as they blaze towards Atlanta and a chance at first place. In contrast to the battle ahead, Jessica's group seems quite content to keep everyone together and work as a unit.
And we're all friends, so yeah, at the finish line, it's a race. Out here, we're friends. I love my crazy friends.
You guys missed a little nature break. Part of the drill. That's how it goes. I don't think it was appropriate for television. Woo. As you can see, we're going through farmland right now, and a concept called slow food, which is the opposite of fast food, but not like what you would think, is a big concept here. It's where they use local farmers, local meats, local vegetables, and they cook seasonally.
As the fast food phenomenon continues its global takeover, counter movements like slow food cooking have sprung up.
The idea is that you slow down long enough to sit down and enjoy a meal.
Under the guise of Chef Kevin Gillespie, voted fan favorite on the show Top Chef, Woodfire incorporates seasonal offerings of small, local farms and sustainable ranches.
We also try and stick to a sustainable model, so we're sourcing it from organic farms, from small family farms, and from animals that are raised humanely.
Now that we know what slow food is, let's make some.
First thing we're going to do is a roasted local oyster mushroom. We're going to roast them and we're going to serve them on a goat cheese toast, so it's a very simple dish. So the first thing for us to do here is to roast these mushrooms off. So we're going to get a pan nice and hot. What we have in this pan is some local oyster mushrooms, a little bit of butter, some celery batons. I found that celery really helps to impart a nice taste to go with the floral taste of mushrooms. So all of this is very quickly cooked so that we save a lot of the nutritional value of the vegetables themselves. He's going to add some lemon juice to it. The acidity is a really important part to this. Mushrooms oftentimes don't have a very rounded flavor, so we have to season them well, and that includes adding something acidic to it as well to brighten up the taste of them. The last component that we have to make for it is the goat cheese toast, if you want to see that.
Sure. Local goat cheese spread on a toasted slice of bread makes for a perfect bed to lay the roasted mushrooms and celery.
So the final product to this dish really is just to lay the mushrooms onto the toast. We do a lot of plating here with small utensils like this because we want it to be accurate and precise. So
the herbs that were in here, what exactly did you add?
So we have chopped parsley, chopped tarragon, and chopped celery leaves. And we're going to just put a little bit of that on top here as well. Yeah, as a garnish, exactly. The last little step there, that's just a little bit of arbequina olive oil, and that's the final dish.
It's simple, it was quick, and it's beautiful.